Hi, this is John from 4 1/2, and this week I'm going to talk to you about website design. Actually, I'm going to talk to you about art and I'm going to talk about buildings, but we'll get back to the website design. So, art's wonderful. Art is great. And art touches us and makes an impression, much like we want our website to make an impression. But one of the things about art is it can take almost any form. It can take a form of the hyper close-up comic book pages of a Lichtenstein. It can be the surreal stuff of Dada or Dali, or the lady leaning over crying in a weird shape like Picasso would do. But your website can't be that way. Your website is actually more like a building. Buildings are artistic. They're wonderful representations of the art of somebody. But in architecture, form follows function. And it's the same way with your website. You can't have the basement on the roof. The basement is part of the foundation. It has to be on the bottom. There are things with a website that have to be in a particular way for it to work. So if we think about buildings, websites, your website is like your office online. Now, I've been to property manager offices all the time, and I know many of you, if not most of you, are going to have that room. Maybe it's an office, maybe it's a conference room, where you take an owner that's come in, and that's where you can have a nice quiet moment, explain your benefits, maybe even sign on the line that is dotted in that room. Do you want a tenant wandering into that room going, hey, can I pay my rent in here? No, you don't want that. Even when you bring that owner into your office, do you march them through all of the property managers that are trying to put out fires left and right? Does that give a good impression? No, it doesn't. Your web page should be the same way. People should be able to get what they need right away. Both at your office and online. When a tenant wants to pay rent, you want that to happen right away. I've seen offices with the slot on the front door or the night drop somewhere, boom, it's right there. Or they walk in and they hand it to the receptionist. With an owner, you don't want them seeing the janitors in the back. You want to get them right into that little room. Website is the same way. If you have an owner login, a tenant login, boom, put it right there on the front page so people can get to it right away. And when you go to the services page, which is your online version of the room where you're closing owners, that's not for tenants to be coming into. That is not for current owners to be coming into. That is there for a specific purpose, and that is for getting those new owners to sign on the dotted line, which in this case would be maybe giving you a call, filling out a form. So you need to have a structure to make sure that these things go in the right direction. And to push analogy even further, the government gets involved in this too. There's a very good chance that you might have to, say for instance, put your board of real estate number on your website in a very prominent place. Or now OSHA is certifying that websites are going to need to be handicapped accessible. You're going to need to set them up so that if a blind person cannot see a picture, they can use their special browser to see what that picture, hear what that picture would be involved. So when you come into a good web shop, well, let's start out. You go into a bad web shop. A bad web shop is one that just says, hey, whatever you want, I can make it. You're not an expert on this. You wouldn't go in and build your own house. You're going there because the architect knows you can't put the basement on the roof. When you come into a good place at 4 1/2, when we're building websites, if you ask for something, we're going to ask you, why do you want that? Because we know that there is a proper structure for a website. There's good UI that is going to help you close business. And so when you're choosing a website company, make sure that it's not just somebody that's willing to do whatever you want them to do. Make sure it's somebody that is willing to give you the right advice and build you an office that you like working in. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. If you have any questions, contact us here at 4 1/2.